Is this your king? Sorry.
I'm pulling a DD. I'm out.
That was bad. They might as well fight in the parking lot. You know, let's just really just
Hey, we gotta fight now. Everybody thinks we did.
I was rooting for you. We all were rooting for you.
On last week's episode of Insecure.
Okay, where the fuck is Condola? That's
what the title should be. Where is Condola?
I think Ross and Condola broke up.
Condola. Where is she? We were literally.
Wait, wasn't he about to tell her about their relationship? Oh,
we don't know.
But he was about to tell her something.
So
and I think about Condola.
I think he was just about to be like, yeah, things kind of went left with us, and I just wanted to give you a heads up.
I think he was gonna be like, we don't go together no more.
He was being mad friendly. He
wants her. Yeah, I was saying he wants her.
Yeah, because think about it. If somebody was the reason you weren't with, like, technically Issa isn't the reason him and Condola aren't together. But in your mind, that's how you would see it. Like, yeah. Oh, your name got brought up.
Non-therapy read. You the reason we don't go together.
That's if he did not like her and if he did not have feelings for her. I feel like that's how he would take it.
Yeah.
But the fact that he being so nice to her, like jokey after he possibly just ended things with Condola after her name was brought up.
I think she would have ended it.
You don't think he would have?
No. I don't see. Lawrence is a stay where they'll take me ass nigga. I'm not going. I'm not going until I know the second option is waiting.
You're absolutely right. But he might think Issa is the second option.
He does, but she's not waiting.
He don't know. He might think.
I'm so shocked that they weren't dating with the intent of it being something more and that he was just a little piece of ass. I'm so shocked.
I don't think he was. Just like, she never said that. Here's the thing. She never said that.
That's just the only insight that we got from his friends. And I remember
it was only one friend. And we don't even know if that was a good friend to say.
Yeah.
Because honestly, she might have just been, I think I said this last week, she might have just been that friend who's in that separate group chat who don't get the real feelings. Like, she might not be the friend. There are certain friends that I talk to and I'm like, oh, I really like him. But there are certain friends where I'm not going to say that to, because if this goes wrong, then they're going to have
stuff to say.
So she might just be, especially since she's joking. But okay. So what else happened? Molly and Molly is.
They solidified that they're like diverging, like as friends and everything. To me,
they're diverging as friends, and she was having it like it was kind of getting weird between her and Andrew, just because she wasn't being.
Andrew is Asian babe.
Yeah, Asian babe is Andrew.
Okay, I never knew his name. Yeah, I was so surprised when she said my man or whatever. I was like, whoa, y'all don't go together like that, but they do.
Apparently they do. I think we were all shocked. They went to see Kelly's baby.
I was really happy to see her with her little baby. I honestly liked seeing her relationship with Derek, because before we only had that like sneak peek where she was like, they were going through some stuff. So I just thought that they were going to eventually break up, but I guess they're showing like, nah, they're like more than that. They actually enjoy each other's company. If she's not fake with anybody, it's probably him.
And we got to see Tiffany's mama side kind of come out when she was talking to like Molly, which was nice, like to see Tiffany. Yeah. Oh, look, you have growth. Like, you have evolved. Molly was being really messy about Issa at that point. Like, Issa was just making jokes, like lighthearted jokes that would have been fine a couple months ago, but now are like hurting Molly, which says way more about how Molly is feeling.
I feel like Issa's jokes got more like tit for tat. Like, you said XYZ about me, so now I'm gonna say XYZ about you, because since that's I don't think it was like not in a joking way, but she was like, if that's where our relationship is, right, then these are the jokes we're gonna say. I don't think that's necessarily mature, but I think that's what she was doing.
Right.
almost to cope with the fact that she hurt her feelings and they weren't going to really talk about it.
Issa lost her
She was a headliner.
and
That's
so
why she had to walk with him too.
yeah, so she's scrambling trying to find new headliner, ends up asking Molly to ask old dude, which I completely understand Molly in this situation.
I forgot about this. This really like severed those ties.
Yeah, you could tell this is the end. So she asked Molly, and before this moment, I was really on Issa's side, but now I can't even stand behind
Issa has tunnel vision.
Mm-hmm.
Issa's just trying to get a win. And I mean, like, I understand because, like, I just finished finals. I had tunnel vision, and so I get it. But like, you're not even gonna. Molly lit up when she called, and she really like talked to the friend. Granted, I thought
this is the second time. This is the second time this has happened to Molly, because when Molly was baking the pies, she was still real happy. Like, I'm about to talk to my.
Yeah, she really wanted to work it out with her friend. She may not always go about it in the right way, but like at that point she was ready.
And even in this episode, she was ready. I want my friend. Like, you could tell that that's how she was feeling. Like, great, because I want my friend. And then here comes Issa asking for a favor, and not just a favor, a huge favor. You want
no backstory, no context. She did, oh, I lost my headliner. And then when Molly starts asking her like logistics about like, well, how did you lose your headliner? And blah, 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 which was like a little shady.
It's shady, but it was necessary. It was shady, but necessary, because at the end of the day, this is my man's business too.
It hits on both of their insecurities. Like, it hit on Issa's insecurity directly, and she's like, girl, just do it. She be putting like Molly's relationship with Andrew at risk, and then Andrew's relationship with his work at risk. Mm-hmm. And it's everybody's character kind of being judged and tested to be like, okay, it's not just Issa getting in the door, it's Molly's word on top of Andrew's word getting to his coworker or boss or whatever.
Right. And so
I don't know my words.
I completely understand Molly, where she's coming from, and I completely understand her saying no. Like,
yeah, 100%. It was just like,
I wish she would have, even when she said no, it's like, you're already, and I get that it was already a lot like of her saying no, but if she would have just been like, hey, can we talk? Like, and fully, like, so I can fully let you know it's not just about me. Like, she did a decent job of explaining, like, I want me and him to be separate than us, and I get that, but even if she would have just said, I don't think we're in a good enough place right now.
But then I just thought it was really interesting how Issa then hit on Molly's insecurity with, why did y'all break up? What'd you do? So I'm just like, that's that tit for tat stuff again.
Where I started like being more on Molly's side, because Molly wasn't trying to hurt Issa in that moment at all. Yeah. Like, she was literally just trying to protect a little bit of everything, herself, Andrew, what she did have with Issa, and Issa's whole thing was like hurt. Like, oh, so this and that, yeah.
I really like this show just because of that. Like, everybody's dealing with their own stuff, and you can't root solely for somebody else. There's no villain and like person that you're rooting for. Yeah.
But yeah. So that's where the episode left off. All right, let's get into it. No.
He do music?
No, but remember he was helping her with the block party.
No.
Okay.
I can honestly say I don't.
All right, we're gonna go back to last season. Okay. He was helping her with setting it up. Like, when she originally went and got the paperwork and everything, the file for the permits and everything, he was with her.
Okay.
So like, before she met Condola is when they were doing it, and then he dropped off. I was really hoping that they just brought him up for no reason last episode.
Yeah, same. They never do that.
I knew it wasn't a realistic hope.
Issa truly leaving somebody.
I just wanted it to not serve us and be gone.
I did give you the idea.
Okay, calm down.
I'm sorry, but I could not. Not Paul.
That's not cute.
You won't talk to your best friend of however many years about it, but you'll talk to this nigga you haven't spoken to in how long? No.
We're on the same page. That's not cute. Also, is that not ugly? Do guys not think that's ugly? I think that's ugly.
If I'm talking to a dude and all of a sudden, first conversation in a long time, he's talking bad about or just telling me business about his best friend, like, yo.
I'm not talking to him.
You're gonna tell everybody my business.
I don't want somebody who would accept that messy stuff for me either. No. That's what my journey is for.
I could understand if they had been together and this just came up. Like if Molly was talking about it with Andrew a little bit, I would understand. That's her.
You know, Molly would come an earful. Andrew know everything.
Andrew knows more than he wants to know. But I can understand that. Why are you telling this stranger y'all business?
Out of 10 and them triple D's sitting. If you ain't fucking money, then I gotta get
Executive
assistant.
First of all, call me an intern in front of a company.
One more time.
And you ain't gonna have an executive.
Did
I do something to you? You being real beefy.
And thanks for that we broke up.
What does that have to do
with that?
Okay, Condola. Okay.
Did she do that when she divorced her husband? I think it's funny how she only came to talk to the vendors who she has to keep a relationship with, but you just gonna throw me out like that? This is a business relationship. This don't have nothing to do with Lawrence. I don't care if I was talking to him or not. What are you doing? This has your name on it too.
She acts like she said, like, I set you up with Lawrence. That ain't got nothing. I didn't even know y'all was together. And then when I found out, I was awkward. And then I tried not to be in this at all.
My relationship should have got better because 1, 2, 3, let's talk about this nigga.
If anything, how you let this man that you was only talking to for a few months put you in such a negative space that you couldn't continue a business relationship that you could try to do despite him? He's what would have messed this up. You take him away. What are you doing?
So to me, the only reason that it should have fell apart like this is that it was like she saw her that he was talking to her. To me, I don't feel like it was that type of energy. Like we broke up because I saw that y'all were.
I really think that it's just because of that conversation. Like she thinks Lawrence still wants to be with her or would still be with her.
To do with her, that's a dumb problem to have.
And even if you were just hurt that much, you could have just sent me a message that said, hey, things with me and Lawrence went bad, which makes this kind of just really awkward now. That would have been way better than you just never messaging me again. Like,
and I'm still sending you stuff that has deadlines on it, stressing out printers and stuff like that.
And I would have been so much less stressed if you would have just let me know this. But you know what?
What?
You see how easy Issa went up to her and said, did I do something? Because why can't she do that with Molly?
That same energy with Molly. Why?
I love that she's committing to this accent.
Oh, she said, now I have to commit to it. You did this. I love love, hate when people do that. You did this.
And she said he's showing her around LA. Amal is like one of my favorite characters. I saw you.
I know. I saw you. He said, I know. I saw you.
I saw your shirt.
I love their beef. I love it. Molly said, of course I was going to be here. I'm your best friend. Why are you lying? You didn't have to say that. Are we keeping up appearances for the two of them?
That's literally, it's only two other people and y'all to talk to them about each other.
It's called Bank of America. Look good.
Yeah, look
I
good.
do.
Right before you bounce.
So
You could tell we're not much for second chances.
I'm not a second chance.
At all. You mean before you left? Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get
I
one.
did. You're right. I look damn good.
I can't believe she said I do. No, that's not how we do this.
And there's something about him. I don't care if he is tall. He looks short to me.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
okay, so I have a theory that it's because when we first met him, he was next to such a like big dude, and he looked so tiny in the car. And then when he fought him, he still looked very tiny. And ever since then, to me, he's just a tiny man.
He did get in that fight. I forgot. I treat every ex on this show like it's my ex. Like the moment they come across the screen, I be, what are you doing? I'm literally
like Lil Kim.
I like it's cute that he's being like hyping her up. Like just enjoy the moment she does.
Yeah, it's necessary. Somebody needs to. I just don't want it from
somebody
him.
else. I told you, black people show up late.
Don't ever take the food off.
I can walk and eat.
Thank you.
Oh, it's her nosebleed?
She got a nosebleed. She got a nosebleed.
That's my own.
Hey!
Oh!
Pause the screen, pause the screen, pause the screen.
Oh, whoa.
Repeat what just happened. It was just the email. He hooked her up with somebody. I'm guessing.
The headliner.
Yeah.
So she might have told Nathan that
Who didn't ask his friend.
who asked his friend to connect them. But I wonder if she asked Nathan to
Or
ask.
she was just telling Nathan her situation.
Yeah, that's the key here. If she was just venting,
He didn't tell Molly whether he did or not. She's assuming walking over there.
but he may not know. Like right now, Molly's assuming that Issa told Nathan to ask.
That's what I was saying.
But she
And
may
so she's about to walk over there and go off on her on that assumption that she asked, but we don't know that. And I don't think she did. This is
where this gets messy, because even if she didn't, she knew that he would have asked. So whether you did or not, like that's not somebody you were talking.
But that takes the whole situation off of Molly.
I think Molly is still.
Did she really know that he would ask?
She knew.
Yeah, I knew when I said that. She don't want her to get cussed out.
Not right now. Do it tomorrow.
I don't want her to get cussed out, period.
Do it tomorrow.
I don't want to watch Issa get cussed out at her event.
I literally thought, okay, they're about to get back on the right track. That was too good to be true. We're only halfway through the season.
Work out with Andrew. It's not gonna be because of me, girl. Fuck you. Fuck me. I've been stopped.
No. Let's start from the beginning of that conversation.
Yo, I don't even know where to begin. I'm shook.
So the way Molly came to her, this conversation should have been had tomorrow.
I don't see why it was necessary to have been had there.
Today? Oh, it wasn't. That was completely, I'm mad, I want to have my way, blah, blah. But it happened. Let's talk about it. So the moment Molly said, Nate, I'm glad Molly asked, did you go behind?
I didn't think she was going to
I didn't think she was going to ask. I thought she was going to assume.
I'm also proud that Issa was honest.
I'm proud too, but I'm not proud about what she was honest about. That was wrong.
Yeah. I kept the whole fight. I kept being like, "Oh, you wrong. Oh, you wrong. Oh, you wrong. Oh, y'all wrong."
Issa was completely wrong for going behind her back, and she said, "Let me fail." You were gonna let me fail. It's not her job to make sure you succeed.
Exactly. That was throwing a whole bunch of stuff on her that was not her business. Also, get her being in a more desperate situation and being like, "I still got to make this happen." And I feel like she could have said that. And I'm not saying it would have made it better, but it was the reality of her situation.
because you went behind my back is the worst part. It would have been better that
if she would have said, "Would you mind me asking?"
Mm-hmm.
I think, but I think, because at that point, if she would have said that, she probably didn't come up with that the same night. And then she would have called back later and said, "Would you mind me asking through XYZ? Because then you're not involved." But then Molly she no matter what, at that point, she would have done it with or without asking, with or without her, like, giving her consent on it.
She would have just been like, "Hey, so what I'm going to do," at least that's giving a heads up instead of blindsiding you, going behind my back and asking my man for favors.
This is why I write stuff down, Joy. I know you think my letters are corny, but I would have sent this in an email. This is the whole thing of what happened with my headliner. Here's what I'm gonna do. And then just that.
And also,
she was gonna do what she was gonna do either way that she felt. Molly wouldn't have been okay with it either way because she didn't have faith in Issa's vision.
This is why Molly could have, had Molly been, she didn't have to, she completely didn't have to, but had Molly been upfront about, hey, me and you aren't at a good place, and that's why I'm doing this. This has nothing to do with him and everything to do with us. And then Issa could have been able to make a decision fully understanding why Molly said no. But she didn't fully understand why Molly said no. So then she's like, oh, well, if I do this, it's okay. Not understanding why that also wouldn't have been okay.
And Condola flaked on her. Molly don't know her whole situation. And she doesn't know Molly's whole situation.
And all they needed was a conversation. Okay, and then, like, now, this whole event, the only thing they're gonna hear about this event is somebody got shot up.
And that I don't think that there were people shooting. I think they saw them fighting and was like, when she said, "Get your finger out my face," and I was like, "Oh, they're about to shoot."
Somebody said, "What are you reaching for? What is she reaching for?"
And then they're gonna be like, "Oh, the owner was popping off. It was the girl who was running the event."
So all they're gonna hear is, "Oh, somebody had a gun." That's it. That's the only thing that's gonna matter, and that's all people are gonna hear. And that's really messed up. You see, even her friends knew nobody had a gun, and they still ran because, hey, somebody might have a gun.
Everybody gotta go. At this point, they might as well fight in the parking lot. Let's just really just.
Hey, we gotta fight now. Everybody think we did.
Because in my mind, somebody already hit somebody physically. Because I'm sorry, the way that they're arguing, I'm like, there's no way. Some people can recover from that. I can't recover from that.
No. The way Issa pointed to Andrew and said, basically, like, yeah, listen to
your. Yeah, she was like, listen to your dude.
And then she goes, they both said in here, like, you need to get your life together. Like, you're messy. No, you're messy. Bro.
You might as well fight, because this type of arguing you can't recover from. And you would feel so much better if you won.
You would feel so much better. This was bad. Either one of them should have walked away. Molly should have never brought it up, and Issa should have walked away immediately. Only thing that could have made this situation any better is if it was, this never happened. And
yeah, if it would have left at that wobble, we wouldn't have seen nobody else, because they were all ravishing in some she did it type stuff.
He's sick of hearing Molly talk about it. He's sick of
Molly's so the type.
That's probably why he did the favor in the first place. Because he like, maybe if this go fine, then they can figure it out.
Yeah. He is probably like, man, I feel like Molly's been waiting her whole life just to gossip to her husband. The idea of dating Molly is exhausting. Woo! Oh my God. Okay, we're stalling.
I don't want to. Good at that.
Do what you're good at. Disappearing.
At least it rained after.
That was exhausting. Do you feel exhausted?
I'm tired. I don't know where we go from here.
We don't go nowhere. The friendship is done. For the sake of television, they may have amends, but I'm like, I feel like it should be the type of amends that in Girlfriends when Tony left, where it's just a conversation one time, just like, we're good, but we're not friends. Because they're never, in my opinion, sane people don't recover from this. I don't know. Life is long. 20, 30 years down the line. Notice my timeline keeps getting longer because before I was like, they have a 5-year track back to being best friends if they want it to be. They ain't got that track now. This is 30 years down the line, senior citizens. We were being stupid. Candola clearly can't be her best friend now because she's a flake. She's just another Nathan in a dress.
Condola is Nathan in a dress. Lawrence is messed up for never saying anything. Dog.
In a month, he never said nothing.
Bro! Like,
because he knew that she wasn't around, right? So they had me.
Would assume.
Maybe he was like, let me stay out of the situation completely. Like, I'm tired of both of them.
I'm surprised he didn't show up. I am really surprised him and Chad did not roll through being messy.
I would have loved to see him run away from fake bullets. You know what would have happened? He would have, in the middle of the fight, he would have like just hit her. Somebody.
I'll do it. This was Issa's moment, the moment nobody thought was going to happen. It's like, whoa, you out here? So that's why I wish Lawrence was there. But I'm glad he wasn't there, because imagine him on the sidelines of that argument, like, yeah, she do be using people.
That's how Chad would have got there. Oh yeah, she be using them. I was getting used every day, living on that couch every day.
It's really stuck in the end of this episode.
It's done. What did you say? My prediction?
Yeah.
It's dead. The relationship is dead. For the sake of TV, there may be a conversation at the end of the season, but I feel like we'll just see their lives separately. Molly, do you think we need to see Molly outside of Issa's life? Because I didn't need to see Dude outside of Issa's life. What's his name?
Nathan?
Nah, her ex. Lawrence. I never needed to see follow-up with Lawrence. I could have lost Lawrence for 4 seasons. If they wanted to bring him back and they get back together, that could have happened off air for me.
You know, no reason to bring him up at all.
I don't think they're going to be friends ever again. Or, like, no, I really just don't see it.
I'm trying to decide if I think they're going to be friends this season. I think they're going to have a conversation.
Yeah, I think they'll have a conversation, and I don't think it's going to go the way we think it will, which is let's work on it. I think if this show is all about, like, being realistic and even thinking about, like, Issa's, like, stepping forward, that was, like, a slow growth. Their friendship, if we're being realistic and true to the show, will be a slow growth, too.
Yeah, I think it'll be a lot like, so remember when her and Lawrence broke up and they finally, like, when she finally moved out the apartment, they had the long conversation. We got the flash forward of what would or could have been. And then
what really happened?
Separate for a while before showing them together again. I think that's how it'll be. Like, the end of the season, we'll see their final hash out. It'll be awkward. They'll have to be around each other because of stuff. And then next season, we might see them have to be around each other again because of baby stuff and because
first birthday or something, or christening.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah. I wonder who's the godmom. Kelly. That makes sense. Kelly.
Yeah. Imagine the baby having no goddaddies.
Who is the goddad? Lawrence?
Chad. I'd rather it be Chad.
I think it's probably Lawrence.
That's like that's the most responsible of the guy friends. I think it'd be funny if it was Chad and Kelly.
Hilarious if it was Chad.
Let's do a wild card. I want it to be vouch due. I want it to be blood. I'm just kidding.